Picture this, a commissioner so obsessed with control, a fan base so furious they reached a breaking point, and 3 players, Caitlin, Sophie, Lexi, holding the line while the league around them crumbles.
It was just ridiculous. It's not often that you're watching the WNBA, or that I'm watching it and I'm like, wow, I've just never seen this.
The WNBA now faces its most explosive crisis ever, with 200,000 fans officially pledging a boycott for 2026. Numbers are skyrocketing, and even Kathy Angelbert stormed out of the league office in sheer panic. Sponsors are calling non-stop. Adam Silver is livid. The league is seconds from collapse. You're about to see a story the WNBA hoped would stay hidden. Watch closely. WNBA history is unraveling in real time. Hit like, subscribe, and comment. Boycott 2026 if you stand with Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi. It all began with a leaked players group chat. Kathy allegedly warned Caitlin Clark to stop attending outside events, including golf, and then turned her threats on Sophie and Lexi, suspensions, benchings, even hints of termination.
Is alleged to have said to Collier, if she actually suggested Caitlin Clark should be grateful for what she makes off court, that's preposterous. Did you miss the Iowa years? Clark is the Tiger Woods tide that lifts all boats, and we know this show is proof. The highest rating we have ever had followed one of her games at Iowa. The WNBA has benefited from her presence more than the other way around, even though this year for Caitlin Clark was essentially lost to injury.
We can't even have our own lives. That message spread, and for the first time, Caitlin Clark, the league's brightest star, felt trapped. Sophie and Lexi stayed by her side, warning, if they punish you, we walk too. 3 players. United. 3 stars adored by fans. Kathy chose the worst possible moment to ignite a storm. Once the threat went online, fans erupted. One viral tweet alone hit 1.2 million views. Suspend Caitlin and we suspend the league. Reddit, Instagram, TikTok, all exploded. Anger turned to determination. Fans remembered fake fouls, reckless hits, and unfair benchings. Players were threatened simply for existing. Then the tipping point, 200,000 fans signed a boycott for 2026. Verified. Growing. Families, kids, entire communities refusing to watch. The outrage wasn't fleeting, it was generational. Sponsors saw the numbers immediately. No hesitation. No bargaining. Lose Caitlin, lose us, one rep said bluntly. This isn't a league problem. It's a Kathy problem. Emails flooded the league HQ.
A high tide lifts all boats or whatever, basically. Like, if you buy into this, everybody is going to eat. Yet you had people fighting tooth and nail the entire season, not wanting it to be this way because other people weren't getting flowers, or she was getting too much attention, or she gets a special whistle, or I'm gonna check her off the ball here just because. And then her teammate cheers for her for throwing her on the ground. It didn't get better. And it's disappointing to me because it's not every player in the WNBA. And I'm sure that there are many players who are happy to have her in the league. And it's like, if it was my league and somebody was coming in and bringing millions of people, like, I would be excited about that, because you know what? That's a chance for me to impress millions of people who weren't watching before. And there's a lot of women in this league who don't have that kind of envy and jealousy and this kind of like secret club mentality that they only want certain people.
Hundreds of companies froze payments, pulled funding, or threatened permanent withdrawal. The WNBA didn't just face a scandal. It was in financial freefall. Every decision by Kathy was sinking the league live on screen. At 210,000 boycotts, Adam Silver reached his breaking point. He slammed a binder on the table, fix this, or step down. Silence filled the room. Kathy froze, pale. Why punish players for living their lives? Why target Caitlin? Why threaten her teammates? He demanded. Excuses fumbled from her lips. He cut through them. No golf bans. No suspensions. No firings. Then, chaos turned legendary. An assistant whispered something. Silver shook his head and left. No discussion. No compromise. Meanwhile, players' phones buzzed endlessly. 200K. 220K. 250K. Caitlin stared at the screen. Sophie took her hand. Lexi embraced both. They're doing this for us, Caitlin whispered. Then we stay strong, Sophie said. Together, Lexi added. The WNBA office descended into chaos. Phones ringing, emails exploding, sponsors freezing, staff hiding. Kathy had nothing. No plan, no allies, no support. You can't fight your fans. You can't threaten stars. Fans reclaimed their league. By day's end, boycotts, families included, topped 1 million. Kathy's office was empty, her chair vacant. Sponsors, trust, and stability evaporated.
Holding the players back from saying, yes, we agreed to an extension, let's try to iron out this deal so there is no lockout. Right? They'll still be able to negotiate if there's a lockout. However, players won't be able to head to the facility. They won't be able to get treatment. They won't be able to train with the team, with the staff. So there is some things to lose if there is a lockout. Sources: WNBA offers players extension on CBA deadline. WNBA has offered players a 30-day extension to continue negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement, sources told ESPN on Tuesday. An extension before the current CBA expires Friday would allow both sides more time to negotiate a new deal.
That question, which raises some sensitivities of rivalries between players. In the case of Angel Reese, who's just had to shut it down because of a wrist injury, Caitlin Clark, who's continuing to play. Rivalry that goes back to their college days, presumably, where I guess some trash talking entered in. But now it seems on some social media channels to have taken a darker turn, a more menacing turn, where race has been introduced into the conversation, where sexuality is sometimes introduced into the conversation. How do you try and stay ahead of that, try and tamp it down, or act as a league when two of your most visible players are involved, not personally, it would seem, but their fan bases?
But the fans weren't silent. Control shattered because Kathy threatened Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi, the very players she should have protected. The WNBA didn't just lose stars today. It lost trust. And trust is everything. If you stand with the fans, comment Boycott 2026 until justice. If you support Caitlin, Sophie, and Lexi, like and subscribe. This scandal is far from over.